The third item I have for you guys is you're going to need to start narrowing your hero focus a lot more seriously. And I initially started playing Rivals by filling as much as I could. My thought process here was let people pick who they want first and who they want the most, and I'll just fill. And that way we increase our chances of everyone getting their mains. What ended up happening is I became the burden. Right? I'd fill, but the biggest issue was actually me stunting my own gameplay. I would end up being the burden to the team, and I would hurt them more than actually helping. Obviously there's caveat to this. In my opinion, have at least one to two heroes of each role where you can be effective. So when that game does come and you get someone who won't switch or takes your main, you won't be without a plan. If you have to counter pick anyone, you're not without an answer. But for me, I just started learning tanks, and I just focused pretty much just playing Groot. I legit hate tanking, but in this game, some tanks kind of feel like DPS more. So I just started playing Groot, and I just pumped hours and hours into Groot. And once I narrowed that focus, I just started ranking up. Like immediately. I just picked one hero and started to grind out the hours. Anytime we needed a second tank, I would just switch and fill Groot. At these ranks, a competent Groot is devastating. So I just narrowed it to tank, and I narrowed it down to one tank pretty much. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. I'm just saying this is what worked for me. And if someone picked Groot and we didn't need a tank, I would pick from a short list of DPS. So if they had flyers, I would just play Hela. If they had a heavy dive comp, I would just play Namor. And I played Winter Soldier for everything else. So I was still limiting my choices, but I always had a choice to go to. And since DPS is not my first choice and there were so many options, I just picked the heroes I knew were strong, that could help in most situations, and that I had fun playing. I'm just trying to play the odds. Now, if DPS filled, which was the vast majority of the time, and Groot was taken, I would then default to strategist. I play Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, Rocket. I'm not saying these are the best heroes in their respective class. It's just what I was comfortable with. I enjoyed playing them. I thought they had a decent amount of utility. Heroes I knew I could be at least competent with and are useful in a lot of comps. I really honestly did limit my choices, and as a result, I just started winning a lot more because I could start diffing the other team in these specific roles. And just know, I've fought this concept a lot when the game first came out, and I was convinced it was better to be a jack of all trades so you could fill any role at any time, when really I should have been more selfish in reducing my own hero selection to at least one of each role and, honing my skills and tech on those heroes. Selfish, by the way, doesn't mean one tricking, but just giving yourself and the team the options to flex as needed, but be limited in those flex options. So when the team goes, hey, we need a tank, I said, okay, I can play Groot well. Say, hey, we need DPS. Say, hey, I'll play Winter Soldier unless they have flyers. Otherwise, I'm picking Hela. Or, hey, we need a strategist. I say, okay, my Cloak and Dagger is okay. I can play Invisible Woman and Rocket okay. I never feel like I don't have an option when I don't get my first pick, but I definitely have a short list of first picks